It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back on this Monday morning. It is your feel-good breakfast show. Now, when we think of traditional relationship roles, the cliche sentiment that men hunt and women gather is usually what comes up to mind. Now, while this may be how earlier civilizations lived and built their societies, the notion has morphed over centuries and completely changed with our modern-day coupling. So, are your relationship roles traditional or not? Well, our relationship expert, Dr. Eve, is here to share her thoughts. But first, we checked in with our Expresso couples to hear whether they think their relationship roles are traditional or not.
I'm Miles.
I'm Alexa.
And we've known each other for 6 years, but dating for almost 2.
Hi, my name is Cameron.
Hi, my name is Quaid, and we've been together for 3 years.
Do you think our household/relationship roles are traditional?
I don't know, if I had to imagine it, I mean, I love cooking. So I think I would like to do the cooking because I love food, and I like making food.
Yeah.
So I think he'll do the cooking, I'll do the cleaning, but we're happy in that.
I'll do the cleaning and the hosting. Hostess with the mostest.
No one's gonna clean.
No.
It's really just based on what we're good at. I mean, I used to do all the driving, but that was only because she wasn't driving yet. So now that she's driving, it's very equal.
Now I'm like, I'll pick you up at 8.
I'm still getting used to that.
All right, Dr. Eve in the hot seat to answer our questions. And of course, we hope that you'll give us a call on 083-9133-728 to engage with us on this very interesting relationship topic. The traditional roles. Is your relationship traditional or not? And I guess it all comes off of the basis, Dr. Eve, that we want to create a harmonious, a peaceful, and a conducive home environment, right?
I'm just looking at our couples and how amazing they look. And they defy what traditional relationships look like in terms of what these people, what people look like today in relationship. What I would like to do is to define for our viewers what we mean, Kat, by traditional and non-traditional relationships. I think that that's an important way to
Go
begin.
right ahead. So what do we
Thank
mean
you.
when we speak about that?
Okay, so traditional relationships would be under the guise of patriarchy, where it would be that the man is the protector and the provider, and the woman is the nurturer. She's the one who is going to be taking on more the role of the mother and be in a supportive environmental kind of role.
Yeah.
Traditional relationships also mean that people stick very much to the 3 principles of commitment and monogamy, meaning loving only one person at the same time, and sexual fidelity, of course. So it's sticking with traditions that have come down, as you said at the beginning, right from cultures way back, but they are very patriarchal. So, as Graham said, I am a feminist. I'm sure I'm not the only feminist.
Proudly so. Say it proudly, Dr.
You are
Eve.
too a feminist. So we want to be looking at and love to invite our listeners to talk to us about what their traditional roles are. Have they changed over time?
Yeah, so I guess it goes without saying that in your opinion,
Yeah.
it is not necessary for the responsibilities or the roles in a relationship to be gendered, for it to be assigned that.
Absolutely not. But you know what the problem is? That I think it's something about evolution that drives us into feeling these traditional roles are inherent inside of us. It's something that I see all the time, that men, especially at the time when they are birthing children, go very much strongly into the protector-provider kind of role.
Yeah.
And women very much begin to feel that the very strong nurturing, mothering feelings of protection coming along, and so they take on these traditional roles.
Yes.
It does seem to happen that way. But people need to redefine it because society is fighting patriarchy, as you know.
Yes.
We don't want that. We want equity in relationships, where men and women still have equal say and have equal rights in their relationships. And
Absolutely.
so, I'm wondering, how has that changed our viewers' relationships? Do they still feel that they're pushed into the traditional role of the man is the one who's going to be the person in the house who's out there, who comes home and just doesn't engage with children, or the new traditional roles are that men are expected to still be doing a full day's work and come home and start their second job, which is then parenting as well.
Well, the number is on screen for you to give us a call on this very interesting and engaging subject matter, #relationship goals. And I wanted to ask Dr. Eve, and we'll answer this question when we come back, about, when you sit in conversations and you say this, and then people say, but if the window breaks at 3 o'clock in the morning, must I go or are you going to go? Is that a silly argument, or is it a lot more fluid than we understand it to be right now? Well, let's head on over to the kitchen. We'll be back with Dr. Eve shortly.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Well, right now, what we're seeing in the kitchen, not exactly traditional in terms of the context of relationship roles that you would see going on. And that's what we're talking about this morning with Dr. Eve. She's here to answer your questions and perhaps even take your comments on 0839133728. Before we carry on with our discussion, let's quickly check in with our Expresso couples for a second time to find out how they handle disputes over household chores.
How do we handle disputes over household chores?
Probably, I don't know, spray each other with water or something.
I think we just need to remind the other person when to do the chores, and then we do it. Like, we just need reminding.
We get really silly about it, honestly. I don't think we've ever actually...
Last one to the vacuum.
No, I don't think we've ever actually had a proper fight about household chores. Like, I think a reason for it is because we generally tend to do the things we're better at. So that's really how we divide it.
I think it would be best to like have a list or a schedule, because then it can be like if someone didn't do it, like, but your name was on the list. Schedule for that.
Yeah,
time.
we don't have a list just yet, but I'm sure we will.
In the future.
In the future.
Yeah, I don't think there would be a dispute because I don't like cooking and he likes it, and he doesn't like cleaning and I like it.
Yeah, and I'm pretty hopeless at trying to organize stuff, and you're excellent at it, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so our lines are open, 0839133728. Give us a call and tell us what role do you fulfill in your relationship, and also how do you go about sorting out disputes over household chores. Dr. E, we were asking earlier on about, I've been in conversations where once you say, no, we're not going to be taking the option of approaching our relationship from a traditional point of view, so therefore I can then say, let's say as a man, for instance, in a heterosexual relationship, if somebody breaks into the house at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's your turn today, you go check it out. Is that a stupid argument?
I don't think it's a stupid argument. I think that if that is the agreement that you have and both of you feel comfortable to take that one on, then of course you should. It's always about the agreement that you have. And what works most successfully, Kat, is if people bring their skills in. It shouldn't matter what gender you are.
Yes.
If you are braver and you say, I'm going to be the one who's going to open that door, it doesn't matter what gender you are, you must be the one that opens the door. And perhaps that night you're feeling tired and you don't want to be opening the door. You should be able to say to your partner, please go and open the door and face whatever demon is outside. It's got to be about skills-based, not gender.
So is this also then the same when it comes to household chores? Do you say, because I love Zola Nene's book, Simply Delicious, and I love cooking out of it, I'm going to go and cook the food even though I'm a man, and you can sit down and watch
Netflix and chill. Be a millennial and do Netflix and chill. That's what you can absolutely do.
So it's all about that discussion about who's better at what.
Yeah, and it's like you want to be motivated to do tasks because let's be honest, when you are living together, it's really hugely boring. It's mundane. You've got to get through household tasks. And if you're going to be doing tasks that you don't like just because you're a woman and you're supposed to be washing dishes or you're supposed to be cooking, that's going to lead to discord in your relationship. If you somebody says, I really love Zola's book and I really want to be cooking, then of course you should be cooking. And if you want to be taking turns around it, that's fine. I like what the word you used earlier on, which is fluid. There should be fluidity in it. It's like, what do I feel like doing? But it can't be left that open. People have to have contracts about what roles and responsibilities we're going to be taking in our household, but it should not be based on gender. It should rather be based on things that I'm really good at and things that I really enjoy doing, because then things will get done.
Yeah, but then once those things are not done, for whatever reason, how tough should you be on your partner for not doing their household chores? Like, you've left the socks on the floor again. We said it's your job to do that.
Because you know what happens? It ends up then that people sit in my therapy room with like, we're not having sex. Like, why aren't you having sex?
He left his socks on the floor.
He left his socks on the floor and he didn't participate.
Now he ain't getting her.
Exactly, he didn't participate in household chores. I mean, we've got research on this, don't even laugh. We've got research on this. That's the #1 reason why women say they don't have any desire to be sexual, is because he doesn't perform household chores. And I'm saying he because it was a study that was done on heterosexual couples.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is extraordinary.
Yeah, so this is really important that people discuss and draw up contracts and revisit these contracts regularly around what are we going to be doing in terms... Because, I mean, things change. Like, you might decide you want to be doing a new job or you want to be taking on a new project.
Yes.
And for the next few months, you're going to be really busy, so you want to delegate your household tasks. How are we going to split them? It
Wow.
needs to be an ongoing conversation.
All right, and the conversation will indeed continue very
Yes.
shortly. 0839133728. Call us and tell us what roles you fulfill in your relationships. And it's very important to discuss this, as Dr. Eve just said.
Yes.
As you heard, ladies, if you don't participate in the household chores, you might not participate in other fun activities. Is it really that simple, ladies?
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. We're live on SABC3. It is your feel-good breakfast show. Hashtag relationship goals. And we got our first call on the line on this Monday morning. Good morning. Is it Vincent?
How are you, Kakeko?
I'm very well, brother. Thank you so much for the call. What's your question or your comment?
It's just a comment. I was watching an episode on Desperate Housewives where Bree was now the provider and Olsen was at home. So Olsen was good at doing all the housework and everything else. So was Bree good at being a homemaker. And now she goes to work and then she comes back really late. And then Olsen does this thing where he sits there and then he's like, I want to eat something that you cooked today. Though he was a good cooker, a great cooker. But he said that I want to eat something that you cooked today, and you're going to cook it for me today. And he was firm about it. And I just think that with the new setup that is there today, it hinges on being unfair. And is that really being unfair when your partner now requires that I want to eat something that you cooked?
Vincent, just putting on the sauce. Okay, what do you have to say with that, Dr.
I think
Eve?
you can see my response. It's like, what? Seriously?
Is that an unfair thing?
It's completely controlling. It's absolutely unacceptable that he should say that. But hang on, I just have to think this through. Does he want it to happen that moment, or is he just saying to her,
I guess it's
I miss your cooking?
a
Wouldn't
boiling point of, you know, I've been cooking for you for like the past 3 months, and tonight I would love to have some of your steak.
Yeah, but that sounds very different from what the way that Vincent is expressing it.
Okay.
It's all in the tone.
Okay.
I want you to cook something for me tonight. That sounds like demanding and controlling. If it was said like, I really miss your cooking.
Okay.
Is there a time that you can find to cook for us sometime?
Wow.
I would love for you to be cooking, because, you know, cooked food is sometimes a sign of love and
Yes.
caring for some people. It's the way that you're going to negotiate that or make your request.
Yeah.
Let's not get stuck in these traditional roles at all, even if he's the house husband. He can be tired of cooking, but I don't like the demanding, controlling kind of tone of that.
All right.
I'm the feminist
Communication, tone, it's all about that. Let's
Yes.
quickly go to our Expresso Couples,
Yes.
where we ask them whether they think that the distribution of responsibilities represents how the relationship stands.
Can the distribution of chores or responsibilities represent how the relationship stands?
I don't think so, because then it's like saying that like some chores that you do for the house are like superior to the other stuff. Whereas I think whatever you do in your home is to make the home a home, and that's like the end goal, is to make the home a home.
I think that it can be a very damaging thing when it becomes something specifically related to,
Yeah.
like if I expected you to make dinner when I get home or something like that, then you'd make me sleep outside, is the response.
This one partner does this and the other partner.
Yeah,
does.
it's like a...
it's equal.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 situation,
Yes.
so definitely not.
If it was going to go and like represent how the relationship stands, I would probably say like it does in a way that it's pretty equal. No one does any more work than the other, and that's kind of what we put into it, our relationship anyway. It's pretty equal.
All right, so our lines are still open on 083-9133-728 for your questions and your comments. We want to know what role you fulfill in your relationship. Siyabonga is on the line. Good morning, Siyabonga.
Hey, before.
Hey, Tangujani.
Hey, for number.
Nice one, me out.
Sharp, man. Hey, man. It's like the man must play his role very quietly.
Uh-huh.
Because otherwise, if you do not play your role, actually, there are so many guys outside here who are going to play your role. Let me count those roles. Such as, like, you do not, like,
Yeah, wakhuluma.
bafuna bafethu uthola ukuthi umjiduvane cherry yakhe. Kwegcineni kwesizwe ayinakekeli, akayenzi.
All right, so, but I pretty much get what he's saying. He's
What's
saying
he
that
saying?
if you don't play your role in the relationship, somebody else out there will do that. Because let's say, for instance, you're not seen as the guy who's, like you were saying now, taking care of your girl or your woman or your partner in your relationship. Somebody else out there will show them that care.
Yeah, it's
so what do you then say with that?
It's a huge burden of responsibility that falls on men, and it's a very common fear that men have, that I have to be taking care, and taking care means usually providing, financing a woman, and if that doesn't happen, I'm going to lose and she's going to find somebody else. And there are two elements to that. The one is what we spoke about in the beginning, the instinctive evolutionary need to protect and to provide for this woman, and if I don't, then she is going to find somebody else, which is what traditionally, back in the day when there were huntsmen and women who were gathering, that is what happened. You know, if he didn't bring home the meat, she would find somebody else who would bring home the meat. The other thing about that is that it puts, you know, way too much pressure because it's not recognizing the equality of women, because that's your instinctive fear, and I wouldn't want that to be driving the relationship where men are feeling so burdened. Because women are capable. They can provide for themselves. Equal, they're equal. We want to have that. And I loved, you know, the equal relationship story that one of the couples spoke about.
Yeah.
And that's like really different, which I'm really finding fascinating, really, Kat, is that in my day, it was like, doesn't matter if you both worked, you had to come home and you had to prepare a meal. I loved when one of the couples over here said, well, if, you know, if he had to expect me to come and make dinner for him every night, we'd be like, get out of here, make your own dinner.
Go
You know?
slip
It's like,
outside.
that is so new.
Dr. Eve, thank you so much, and
Yeah.
thank you to Vincent and Usiyabonga for your calls as well. If you'd like to continue the conversation, please do so on social media at Expresso
Yes.
Show. Hashtag Expresso Show is where you can catch us. Dr. Eve, let's do this again next week.
We shall do that.
We
And
will
get onto
reverse-
my Facebook page.
Then we'll reverse the roles and you can interview me about it. Let's head on over to the kitchen.